Hello guys, and welcome to Story Time with Teacher Sam. It's a Friday and we're going to be reading a lovely story today called The Littlest Lighthouse Keeper. When you look at the front, what can you see? You can see a lighthouse, and the sea and the rocks. And what's this? A mouse. And is he big or is he small? He's small, and we also know that he's small because it says The Littlest Lighthouse Keeper. What do lighthouse keepers do? They keep watch out to sea, and they are a guiding light for boats. Show them where the land ends, to guide them into harbours and stuff if they need to. They do different things. You can actually go and look up a lighthouse keeper, or you can look and see if you can find different pictures of lighthouses. So let's start the story. This is by Heidi and Daniel Howarth. Okay. Henry loved to be by the sea. He loved the smell and the sound of the ocean. He lived in a lighthouse by the bay and helped the old lighthouse keeper. Henry squeezed through the tiniest gaps and reached the highest cogs. The lighthouse ran like clockwork. In return for all his hard work, Henry's stomach was always full and his nest was really cozy, because mice live in nests and they also need to eat. Today Henry had been busy at work all morning when he noticed something. The lighthouse was quiet. The only sound was the tick-tock of the old keeper's clock. There's the clock, and the clock goes tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock as the hands move round and the time changes. On here you can see a picture of a whole lot of boats and ships going from the smallest to the biggest. Can you see that? Henry scampered downstairs. The lighthouse keeper had gone. All he had left was a note saying, "Gone to the dentist." For he had forgotten one very important thing. Henry could not read. Henry climbed sadly back to his nest. Tap, tap, tap. The puffin was tapping on the glass. "Are you hungry?" she asked. "I wasn't sure if you ate fish like me, so I brought you this." Henry pushed open the window. "What a feast! Berries, nuts and seeds." "Oh, thank you," said Henry. "This is perfect. I was so hungry." With a full stomach and a new friend, Henry returned to his chores. What a kind friend to think of somebody else and bring him food. There was one job Henry had never tried on his own. He had always sat safe in the keeper's pocket as the old man climbed the steep ladder to the top of the lighthouse. "I can do this," Henry said to himself. You also learn new things all the time, and sometimes when you learn something new or you're doing it for the first time, it feels a little bit scary. But the more you do it and practice, the better you get, and then it doesn't feel so scary anymore. Looking up, it all seemed so scary. Henry's paws were trembling. They slipped and Henry fell. But don't worry. It's going to be fun. Henry's eyes were tightly shut. He was scared to open them. He felt he was floating. "Hello," said a gentle voice. Henry slowly opened one eye. There was a spider, glossy black, with big bead-like eyes. "My web caught you," she said. "Where were you going?" "To the lamp at the top of the lighthouse," Henry replied. "I need to check it is working." "I will climb with you," said the spider. "You're a good friend." Henry was still chatting to his new friend as he reached the top. The sky had grown dark and a ship was sounding its horn. "I need to switch it on," said Henry. "What?" asked Spider. "The light," Henry called. "It will guide the ship." Henry pulled and pulled as hard as he could. Click! Nothing happened. The lighthouse was still dark. Henry turned off the switch. You see this whole box, there's a switch there that he needs to pull the lever. And how many keys are there? 1, 2, 3. Henry knew there was a spare bulb, but it was right at the bottom of the lighthouse, and he was at the top. So remember, the opposite of top is bottom, and the opposite of bottom is top. There was no time to fetch it. Spider seemed to have gone, and with no lighthouse keeper to help, what could Henry do? What solution or plan do you think he could come up with? Because remember, there's always a solution to every problem. Suddenly Henry heard a sound. Puffin fluttered above him, with Spider dangling from a silvery strand. "Come on," said Spider. "I have a plan that might just work, and I have brought some help." Wow, see? They've already come up with a plan. His two friends are already trying to help him. Let's see what they do. The plan was simple. Henry and Spider climbed onto Puffin's back and down she flew. Spider spun a web and they put the spare bulbs safely in it. Remember, bulbs are made of glass. They go into lights, so they can break very easily. They're fragile. Quickly, they hopped back onto Puffin and off she flew to the top of the lighthouse. Wow, they worked together as a team because teamwork is dreamwork. Spider and Henry hopped to the floor. Henry took out the old bulb and screwed the new bulb into place. What had seemed impossible for Henry on his own had been easy for the three friends working together. They smiled. So remember that. Sometimes if something feels difficult for you to do on your own with the help of somebody else, sometimes that makes it easier and you can do it together, like you do things at school and you work together as a team. Henry pulled the switch. A bright beam of light shone out across the bay. "We did it!" cried Henry. The friends cheered as they watched the ship sail safely away from the sharp rocks below. Henry was so tired he did not know he had fallen asleep until his nose twitched with a delicious smell. Sizzling bacon. Oh, do you guys like bacon? "Hello, Henry," said a familiar voice. "I'm so sorry to have left you. What a wonderful job you have done," he said. "You may be the littlest lighthouse keeper, but you make a really big difference. So you can still make a very big difference being small." He gave Henry a special little lighthouse keeper's cap, and he didn't forget Henry's new friends either. Spider could spin her webs wherever she wanted, and Puffin had fresh fish to eat every day. But best of all, they had each other. The end. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye.